Hi, this is Fred Zeglin with a product review. This time around we're going to look at the LeeLoader, and when I look at this, it kind of reminds me of the argument of, if you were stuck on Gilligan's Island, Mary Ann or Ginger. It's one of those ongoing arguments, and what I mean by that is when you're putting together your BugOut bag and you're trying to choose those things that will minimize what you've got to carry, everybody has their idea of what's the perfect tool. I think the LeeLoader fits into that category because this is cartridge specific. In other words, each one of these kits only works for one cartridge. But the cool thing is it has everything in it you need to reload, and in an emergency situation it's very minimal. You don't have to carry very much. It's very light, easy to handle, and it's in a compact package. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. These guys have thought it through very carefully, and so it has the cartridge information. It's going to tell you the dimensions. And then on the flip side, it's got load data, and this load data is tied directly to the powder dipper that's in this kit. So it tells you all these different powders you can use. It's broken down by the weight of the bullet that you might be choosing. So let's say you threw a box of bullets in your bag. You just make sure that you have a powder that matches up with that bullet weight so that the kit can just do everything for you. That way you don't have to worry about weighing powder or having any special tools with you other than this kit. So the next thing, of course, is the instructions. These instructions show you what's in the kit, of course, but the part that is going to really matter to you is it has just a 9-step process. It tells you very quickly how to go through and load using this kit. So what's in the kit is a decapping pin. This is your powder dipper. You have a decapping I think they call it, I forget what they call it exactly, but basically this is where you're going to decap, allows the primer to drop in. We have a combination tool. This one is a bullet seater. This end seats the bullet. This end is used for priming and depriming. We have the die body itself that does the work of sizing the case. We have a little expander to expand the case mouth so that we get the proper opening to get the bullet to seat. We have a punch for driving the primer home, and it's just that simple. There's just not that much to it. So the way it works is if you have a primed case, you set that primed case on here, line it up, use the die body, and you can go right through the case, punch your primer out. So here's our die body, and this has a couple of functions. One is to size the case, of course. The other is it has a crimper built into the other end. But I want to show you how simple this is. If you have kids and you want to get them into reloading or you want to get them into shooting, this might be a fun way to start them. Because kids love to bang on things, and that's really kind of what we're doing here. You're going to use either a nylon or a plastic hammer, and it's simply a matter of driving the case down into the die. So we've got her down into the die, and that's all it takes to size the case. So we get that seated home. Then at that point we're ready to prime. So you bring the primer seater over, set the primer in the center of the hole there. Just take the primer punch and drive it down. You smack it with the hammer. You do it gently, of course, and when it gets seated, you'll hear a change in the sound. You can tell when it's all the way home. So assuming that we had driven the case out of here, we'd take the case then and flare it. So you just tap, tap. And of course the reason we're using a soft hammer is so that we don't damage these tools. You want them to last a long time, right? So at that point, assuming there was no case in here, you would slip the die down over the case, right? Use it as a funnel. You dip your powder, put your powder in the case, and then you're going to seat the bullet. So you drop the bullet in, drop the seater on. This is adjustable. It has a stop nut that you can change the seating depth. So you seat your bullet, tap it home, and once you've done that, you can turn the die over if you want and crimp the case. There's a crimper built into the other side. So assume the bullet was there. We just put it on, tap it gently to get our crimp, stop and check it, whatever crimp you're looking for. Now you see it's just that simple, and what's cool about this, like we said, if you have kids and you're doing this, they get to shoot the ammo that they made. What a fun thing to be able to do. The nice thing is it's an all-inclusive tool that you can throw in that BugOut bag. They cost less than $40, and it's a tool that really works.